When anybody talks about shitcoins from now on, I'm going to use that phrase that you just said right now.
There you go.
Yeah, got to shuck a lot of oysters to get a pearl. So I'm in it.
So
I'm just gonna
so go buy Doji Awawa coin.
Yeah. Before you polish that turd.
Hey,
gotta buy a lot of shit coins.
That's
the tagline for the episode. You gotta shuck a lot of oysters before you polish that turd. I think that's nice.
We'll come up with an episode title. That's a little long, but I probably will.
The program you are about to hear is largely fiction.
The Rug. Welcome to Under the Rug, a behind-the-scenes podcast about comedy in Web3. Featuring the somewhat attractive and mostly pseudonymous staff of The Rug, where we take money seriously.
But I do want to hear this New York introduction again.
I can't do it now. That was like totally in the moment.
Just do it. Try.
I can't do it. It was spontaneous.
You're such a
spoiled
sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Under the Rug, live from New York City. In the studio today is my friend Frank America, and also we have a Discord user. Stick around, we have lots of exciting conversation. I messed it up at the end.
It's mostly, ladies and gentlemen, we do have explicit content, so we don't really tailor to the
well,
kid folk.
It's just, I say boys and girls, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I think the way it petered out at the end was fantastic.
That's I hear that quite often, actually. Where's my there we go.
Yeah, do more of that stuff.
The way it petered out at the end was outstanding.
I thought it'd be interesting to read the intro like Lex Friedman. Welcome to the podcast.
Here are all of my sponsors.
It's like, here's 7 minutes of sponsor.
For brain food, we
very
have
quiet sponsor.
For clothing, we have this. For erectile dysfunction, we have this.
Welcome to Under the Rug podcast, a behind-the-scenes podcast looking at the hardest hitting headlines in Web3. When I'm looking for cryptocurrency, I need to find an exchange. I like to use Gemini. Not just an astral symbol, but also an active centralized exchange that has yet to fall victim to the CeFi debauchery. And I also like to use hot wallets. Hot wallets are easy to transfer cryptocurrency. I prefer MetaMask. MetaMask easily just goes on and on. It's like seek ahead 7 minutes.
I'm glad you put Gemini in there. I've been wanting to write a Gemini joke for a while, partially because that's the exchange I use.
It's like the last bastion.
Nobody ever talks about it either.
I heard Earn stalled though.
Maybe. I stopped using the Earn product a while ago. I just was using it for buys and sells. But yeah, it's like every time there's a conversation about FTX, then it's Coinbase and Kraken and Binance. And meanwhile, the Winklevoss twins are like, hey guys, we matter. We do karaoke and all kinds of cool shit. Come over here and check us out.
I think they have a band.
Yeah, right. We're still here.
All right. Welcome to Under the Rug. This is the 7th episode, so definitely in the top 8 of Under the Rug, usually about 60 minutes long. Thank you for being here. We like to discuss the hardest hitting headlines in Web3, various satirical angles that we have placed on the world of crypto, especially today, where it is Sunday, Bloody Sunday. And with me in the house today are 3 hilarious writers. Redemption Fox, aka Discord user. That's when you say what's up.
That's me.
I had to find the unmute button.
I was waiting for you to move on to the next 2, But.
I was almost going to do all 3, so I was psychically false projecting. And then we also
That's what
have
it was. I felt that.
One of my favorite writers who basically stole the front page on our upcoming NFT, Mr. Perchy. Welcome.
Hello.
Sounding wonderful today. And last and definitely the most valuable person in the room because he makes this podcast happen, Liquidiate.
Yo, you down with NFT? Yeah, you know me. You down with NFT? Yeah, you know me. I'm still working on it. How was that?
That's decent.
All right, back to the drawing board.
So we're not going to chop until housekeeping. So housekeeping is a 2-minute section where Liquidiate runs us through the various things going on in the house, La Casa de Rug. The floor is yours, Liquidiate.
Yeah, I don't think there's a house left after these past 2 weeks. We're gonna
This
do
is salvage housekeeping.
with the rubble. We're gonna do the best we can. We are continuing to put out articles on Mirror. Recently, we had a Turkey Day themed article for all of you in the United States or around the world that celebrate that particular holiday. We are up to 15 articles now. Quality stuff. Go and check those out. You can mint those on Mirror. therug.mirror.xyz using Optimism. Also, I believe we have completed our airdrop of a little something something for the OG Volume 1 NFT holders. Frank, did you want to touch on that?
That is absolutely correct. I clicked and clicked and clicked and clicked, and I clicked some more, and we paid a bunch of Matic, and we have airdropped to officially over 260 unique Ethereum addresses.
Nice.
And of which over 150 were
bots.
Yeah, exactly. 150 like unique holders. So
nice. What was
whatever that?
What was all the
that
clicking?
means.
You talked about this in the Discord.
Well, you go on OpenSea and you have to transfer everyone manually to a specific Ethereum address.
Oh my God, that's
pay for
horrible.
it. So I've been just like brain numbingly transfer. So little heads up about that. And I'm going to publish an article on Mirror, which will be out when you hear this podcast about like how to make sure you find it.
Mm-hmm.
But typically it's in your hidden. So you have to click on more, go to your OpenSea profile, click the drop down menu, more, click hidden.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see the little Ruggy NFT there, click the ellipse, click unhide, go ahead and favorite that and like that and share that.
But while you're in that hidden tab, be careful because that's like the dark arts tab. You never know what's going to be in there and what.
Yeah, people can send you anything, which is just so dumb.
It just shows up.
It should really be a block.
Right.
This is early Web3. We're going to figure that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little tidbit about that. The Lil Ruggy, The Adventures of Lil Ruggy, which I wrote and Cosmic Clancy illustrated, is inspired by some of the color schematics were inspired by Watchmen, if you're familiar with that comic series. Mm-hmm. Sort of bold, darker colors. And then the story itself came out of a joke that we had in Volume 1, where like we were coming up with this like, you know, there's that rapper 2 Chainz. And so I was like, oh yeah, 2 blockchains is going to be at the Emmy. And like one of the other writers in the room was like, yeah, a lot featuring Lil Ruggy. And I was like, oh, that's funny. So I thought of that, took that character and then immersed them in a world. So go check that out. And that's our extended gratitude to everyone who collected the first volume of NFTs. Oh, and thanks to Perchy for working with me about how to do that the best way.
It's a nice looking piece. I'm excited for people to check that out and have that in their wallets to, you know, share with their friends and family. Say, hey, look at this thing.
It's a nice rose. Most people, I mean, we've been saying, you know, hey, if you have the NFT, you're going to get some utility. And like, I think that we finally like followed through on that. Like getting this NFT is like cool. And then I did add it to the Guild XYZ proof point so that if you have this NFT and you're not in our Discord yet, you can come on over to our Discord and verify that you're holding this NFT and come crack jokes with us in the lounge.
Nice.
So
speaking of NFTs, Volume 2 is just on the horizon. I got a sneak peek of that, and I must say, it's hot. It's hot. I'm looking forward to that. Can we talk a little bit about that at all, or are we?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to bounce that to Redemption Fox Discord.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be out by the time this episode airs, I would think, so we don't have to be too coy about it. But yeah, that was kind of like what made me fall in love with the rug, was putting out those Onion style newspaper cover Web3 satires. And I just thought it was so cool and I wanted to bring it back. You know, we paused, I don't know how long it had been, 4 or 5 months since the last one. And it was time. We were overdue. So yeah, Frank and I got together and made it happen with our illustrator Dip.
Yeah, Diputo did some really great sort of, you know, it's the same throwback newspaper style NFT you're used to with a slightly different aesthetic to differentiate it a little bit. And of course, all different and new content, none of which has gone out on our Mirror or Twitter before. So our plan is to, when you've heard this, you may have already missed the boat, but we're going to launch it and leave it open for like a week. And it's basically a gift. Anybody can come to our Mirror page and mint it for the price of an email, AKA for free. So we're stoked on that. And this is a one-time only situation. So where our hope is that, hey, go on this ride with us, collect this NFT for free. It's issue 1 of volume 2. It is going to be a collector's item, no doubt. And then we will charge a little bit for issue 2 and 3 and so on. But why not grab that first one? Because it's up for grabs.
And wait, can you step out the like Mirror beta stage that we're in? Because we got a special sneak peek at some of the things they can do. And we're going to be one of the first organizations, I think, to be able to use their new NFT tech.
Oh. Absolutely. So Mirror contracted a lot of their offerings to really just focus on blog publishing for a while. They were basically just doing too much. So they scrapped a lot of their interface and just simplified it, which actually I thought was very intelligent because it got people focused. And then they also introduced minting on Optimism. Now, coming out in the next month or 2, I mean, don't hold me to their timeline, but they're going to allow you to mint NFTs again, specific, on Polygon, on Optimism, or Ethereum mainnet. And we're going to do ours on Ethereum mainnet. And you can do an 1155, you can do a time locked contract, or you can do a limited edition contract. And they identified the rug as one of the early users and influencers on Mirror. And they reached out to us on Twitter and said, hey, do you guys want to start doing your NFTs on Mirror again? And I was like, well, this is uncanny timing. We just whipped up volume 2 and we were right about to launch it on Rarible.
Funny that you say.
I know. So I hopped on a call with Rafa the Builder from Mirror. He's one of the core contributors over there today. Really smart guy. Enjoyed talking to him. And he sent us the sort of like beta application to mint that contract. And then in the future, it'll just be super smoothly integrated into your Mirror account, as you had seen before. So yeah, what do you guys think about that open edition? Mint as many as you can for a week or 2.
Wait, it's mint as many as you can?
Yeah, that is. Well, we have the choice. It can be limited edition or it can be unlimited edition. And if it's unlimited, you can time lock it. So it's unlimited for 72 hours or unlimited for 7 days. We determine those parameters. And I was just thinking strategically, we want to have readers, and I think that people are going to be excited to collect this first one. So if we put a little bit of time scarcity around it, I feel like a lot of people will come through and mint it, which should be great because then they'll get future editions and notifications when we publish our articles on Friday, and they'll automatically fold into our subscribers.
I like the idea. I think I just kind of misunderstood what it was. I see all of those options and it's like, I want to test out all of these kind of thing. You can't make me choose just one. Let me do them all. But yeah, I think the open mint will be cool. Get people in, get them excited. This is almost like an open house, Come and share with us. We're opening our doors to everyone right now. Let's have a good time. And then,
Well, then the collectors will collect.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you, subscribe on and mint this first NFT, you're still going to get all our Friday articles for free, free to read. And same with the NFT, always free to read. And then in the future, it'll cost just a little bit of ETH to collect. And so we'll try out. I don't know what the numbers are yet, but we'll figure it out.
Right. Okay, cool. And I'm excited for people to see this because it's familiar yet new at the same time. It's really dope. All right, moving right along. Subscribe to our newsletter. It continues to be not terrible. Someone adjusted the notes here, and I almost read I continue to be not terrible. I think that was on purpose. This is right. Live editing here on the pod. You can find that at paragraph.xyz/@therugnews. Also, Twitter continues to be the main hub for all things The Rug. Fresh headlines Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at The Rug News on Twitter. And links to all of this and more.
One quick shout out on that.
Yeah.
We have a new Twitter PM, Zero Mass. I just wanted to shout him out. So we have this thing at The Rug where one person holds the reins of the tweet and ultimately decides what goes through. So we just introduced Zero Mass into that crew. I just wanted to shout him out. I think he's doing Thursday.
Right.
Sure.
So we have a different staff member Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then also we have some extra days for announcements and things of that nature. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And links to all of this and more can be found in the show notes and also our link tree, which is difficult to say. Link tree. What is it again?
It's Linkter.
Sphincter.ee at / the rug news link. Is that it?
I'm not agreeing to that.
We'll put that in the show notes. Everything can be found on the show notes. How about that? All right. And that I think about wraps it up for our rubble of a mess housekeeping. Back to you, Frank.
All right. Next section, we call it Chop Peanuts, and just the floor is open. So what's going on? Is SBF going to jail? Why do CeFi exchanges keep stealing our money? Are we in the bottom of the bear market? Open forum. Any subject. Curious what people think.
I think we are not at the bottom yet. I just got fleeced by a scammer for some ETH and some NFTs earlier today, and I think they'll have moved on to other pastures when we're actually at the bottom. You know, when there's fewer people trying to leech off of others, that's when you know.
It would be really interesting if somebody could gauge Discord DM spam frequency and intervals as a way to predictively indicate the bottom of the bear market.
I think that's
DM scams
tell.
are down.
Yeah.
The bear is in. The bottom is in.
I think we are not at the bottom yet. I just got fleeced by a scammer for some ETH and some NFTs earlier today, and I think they'll have moved on to other pastures when we're actually at the bottom. You know, when there's fewer people trying to leech off of others, that's when you know. I'm still getting tons of Twitter spam, so Elon's fucking that up, and we're not at the bottom. Those are my two.
Wait a minute, you lost?
Terrible. Yeah, what happened? Do you mind going into the story about?
Yeah, so like I'm in a project called Lost Miners that just came out. It was like the last full NFT collection on the old proof of work chain. So that's kind of its claim to fame and what they're building it around. And they've done a really cool job, some nice art, and they've got a good community where like I have been able to trust and do some trades and send first, no problem. And somebody was in there today trying to move like one of their one of ones in that collection, like one of the special ones. So like instead of a miner, it was a king miner. So, you know, he looks regal. And so I went into his DMs and kind of like bit on the hook and was like, hey, you know, I got a good offer for you. Like, let me take that one off your hands. And then I was like, my spidey sense was going off a little bit. And then one of the whales in the collection came in and was like, I'll trade you 20 of my miners for your one. And I was like, oh, fuck this dude. Like, he's already got one of the other special ones. Let me close this deal. So I was just like, all right, fine. Like, I'll send you half up front. You send me the thing, and I'll send you my other half. Then he took that guy's 20, and he took my upfront half and then disappeared. And so I was like, figure it out by just checking his like ether scan and being like, oh, okay, somebody else is sending him a bunch. And so I reached out to the other guy. I was like, I think we're both getting fleeced at the same time here. And sure enough, he made off. And, it wasn't too much. It was 2 miners, like 2 of the NFTs that were like fine. He ended up just flipping them for like the bottom offers of like 0.07 ETH or whatever, and 0.25 ETH.
Still, though, I'm glad you told the story, because every story told is somebody else's experience that maybe doesn't have to happen again, you know?
Totally. Right. And like, I know better than that. Like, I totally kind of deserve it, but I was just getting greedy and I let that blind me a little bit, because I was like, fuck this other dude coming in to splash around all his money and shit. Like, I'm just going to close this deal. And I had already been a little skeeved out by that point, but I just, I wanted to close the deal out. So that's what I get.
No, I get it. You get your eye on the prize, and then you want something, and some of the base logic goes out the window.
Yep. And I was smart enough not to send it all up front, and I was smart enough just to send like the 2 shittiest ones I had to offer that were part of the deal, and kept the ones I actually cared about. So, I listened to my gut a little bit, just not enough.
That's a smart.
Sounds like a soft landing.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I think you have to be happy about that.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. I'm I think I'm going to be able to get back the 2 that I gave away. Like I said, he flipped them for the bottom offer. So I think I can reach out to these people and say, like, I'll give you the 0.07 ETH for that one that's clearly like worth way more than that. And hopefully they will treat me how they'd want to be treated if the roles were reversed. We'll see.
Right.
All right. What else is new? You guys, a couple of you got some new microphones. We were talking about that real quick before we
Let's get
started
some product placement
the episode.
here.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to place the product, but you guys sound good. How you feeling? All professional over there?
Feeling good. I sound the same to myself, but I assume based on how Frank sounds, he sounds like he's here in the room with me. That
Do I sound better now? It's wild.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, you still sound like yourself, but there's this an extra quality to it.
You sound more handsome.
It was you sound more handsome.
Yeah, already you guys are both like 12% better looking.
Your audio quality just got more attractive.
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna plug the product. It's a Shure mic, SHURE, and it was about $270, and I would say it's the best choice that I've made for podcasting. People have asked me to do podcasts. I record audiobooks, and I've been using the same Yeti Blue mic for like 5 years, and lately it just didn't sound as great. So I definitely want to include a link to the mic that you recommended for us, Liquidiate, in the show notes, because I do think that in the digital world, our audio kind of presentation ends up being like a big factor in terms of if people take you seriously. And if you're out here in Web3, you're doing podcasts, you're on Discord, having a clean audio input can improve your game. Might even make you some more connections, and who knows what that could lead to, and improve your overall reputation. So that's a Shure mic, and
that's a great point, Frank. And just make sure to use Under the Rug Black Friday code as your
discount code, and that's going to get you 20% more in your bill. So it's going to be 20% more. Under the Rug.
That goes to us.
I'm going to add that and just transfer it over to the rugnews.eth and let us know.
If you want to hide your trail, we tornado cache that shit before you send it to us, because that's all on the up and up.
Do not do that and then send us anything. That is a terrible idea.
Oh, man.
We'll see how David Hoffman's lawsuit pans out.
Oh, right.
He's working with a really great nonprofit out of DC called Coin Center, which is sort of like quarterbacked by this guy. Like, he's got quite the last name. It's like Rumpelstiltskin or something. It's like Jay Vanderbilt or Veneerabelin or something. Guy is brilliant. I read his newsletters and I watch his speeches. This guy knows more about law and like its relation to the Constitution and like protecting freedom. And he's a big privacy advocate, but he's very like, balanced about that, and has all like the statutes and backgrounds to sort of undergird his arguments. He's kind of like just like listening to like a brilliant pinwheel spin when he talks. But all of that is to say that he selected David amongst a few other notable Web3 personalities to back them in this class action that they are filing in relation to this whole tornado cache thing. So that's definitely worth plugging.
You're not supposed to say his name out loud or something bad will happen. Is that the story of Rumpelstiltskin? I'm a little rusty.
I don't know.
If you get his name right, then something good happens. But I'm pretty sure Frank got it wrong 3 times, which does mean something terrible happens.
Going to turn into a tomato.
Funny you should bring that up. That's actually one of my Grail ENS names is Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, that's a good
cool
one.
Wow.
That is a good one. Yeah, so that's the tornado cache thing. I mean, what else is anybody want to weigh in before we like walk through some of these headlines just about let's just look at the list.
Yeah.
So Celsius insolvent, 3 Arrows Capital went insolvent. The Luna network insolvent, and now the most recent, like, nobody thought it could happen, FTX insolvent. Like, what is all that? What happened?
I just wrote down.
Where are we? Are you my mother? Does this make any sense? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
I don't know.
What the heck is going on?
I don't know how to feel, because we had all of that stuff happen like pretty much back to back. And then we kind of went into like our Thanksgiving holiday here, and it was kind of like a quiet week. And now I'm like, it's starting a new week, and exactly like, where am I? What the fuck happened? What's going on? Like,
let's see if we have some headlines that went with that, and anybody can jump in, with takes. But we had a funny one that went out.
Yeah, the Bankless episode
SBF.
is this whole industry a scam? I think that came out like a week or two ago. That was quite a interesting summary, kind of going through all the genesis, contagion, and kind of the tracing it all back to Genesis and DCG. From I guess a comedy perspective, this should be really good for us, right? This should be
it's gold. We got our best tweet ever. SBF donates 99% of his fortune ahead of schedule. We hit a nerve on that one. And it is gold. I think that that's what I've been telling people. They're like, oh, crypto, how's it going? I'm like, that's great. We write jokes. There's nothing could be better than everybody kind of making a fool of themselves. And my thing is that all of this has happened and Ethereum is still over $1,000. Bitcoin is still over $15,000. The last bear, it was like 75, 80 bucks. So it's an amazing resilience in the price bounce, which has just kind of like astonished me. But yeah, and any other thoughts about that?
I'm to the point now where it's like, there's been so much, I guess you could say bad news, so much shit happening that anything new that happens, I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm sure that happened. Because at first it was like, oh man, I can't believe this. And then it's like I don't know, almost like the boy who cried wolf. Like you get used to the news and now I'm just like, yeah, all right, fine. Something else imploded. Okay, I guess so.
I know, and I forgot about 3AC. That whole thing happened. We had this Halloween tweet, which was a funny one. Was this year's hottest ghost costumes include Do Kwon and Suzu, and it's like that. I thought we were like, this will never happen again after Do Kwon and Suzu. And meanwhile, as Sam Bankman-Fried was just sitting there they still haven't caught me yet, and just I'm going to go talk to politicians and act like I'm really, care about stuff. And it was all just, and then now BlockFi is insolvent. I was thinking about this, run with it, Perch.
Yeah. No, it's just so funny that Do Kwon and Suzu feel like they're so long ago now.
So long ago. That was this year.
And to the point where they're almost not rehabilitated. They'll hopefully very long time before that happens. But I think Suzu and Kyle Davies have been testing the water with tweets and trying to, get back in the narrative.
Can I talk again?
Right.
Is it safe? Can I talk? That's I forget which one of them went on. Do Kwon hopped on Up Only or something.
Yeah.
It was right. It was talking from Dubai or wherever the hell he's hiding.
International Space Station.
I thought that was great. But my favorite part about that podcast is his exit. The conversation started to lull and it just got a little boring. And he was just I have to go. And he just clicked out. And they're okay, that was Do Kwon with the Ghost of the Year award.
Keeping it on brand. I got to ghost this podcast.
My reaction to BlockFi filing, I think they just filed today, didn't they? Chapter 11?
Chapter 11. I
saw that and I was like, huh. I thought they already did that. I was convinced, my reaction was oh, that this has happened, right? That was 2 weeks ago or last week or.
Well, it's crazy because early on in the argument, BlockFi went through this whole cat and mouse game with regulatory bodies in the US where they basically, just to put it in simple terms, they were asked to rein it in and they did. And they basically instilled some consumer protections. And if you were in the US, you could only do this much or that much, or you couldn't do a little bit of this other stuff or certain limits. And at the time I was thinking oh, why are you reining in BlockFi? Gosh, it'd be great to be, in a non-US country, because then you could access that yield, baby. And then now I'm looking
yield,
at
baby.
You got to get that yield.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, consumer protections for the win?
Question mark.
Like, I think so. Like, they're actually like probably stopped a significant amount of blood that would have been there if that hadn't occurred. And then the most fascinating thing, and I wonder if we have a tweet about this, or maybe it's one that we could write, but it's like everybody pays off their DeFi loans and then files Chapter 11, which to me is like the funniest, like litmus test for crypto. Like everyone's like, oh, crypto's in the shitter, oh, FTX, it's all a scam, whatever, or time puff piece or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, but everyone's like paying back their Aave loans before they file.
Because they have to, in a way. They can't, there's nothing they can do about that.
Maybe you should walk the listener through that for just like, to give you a hot bullet on that. Why do they have to?
Well, you see, abort.
Abort. This is not quadratic funding.
Metaverse.
You can definitely handle this one. Nice callback. Right?
I don't even use Aave. Like it's
well, it's the principle. Well, okay, Perchy, can you explain it? Why are these companies that are filing Chapter 11, including FTX, paying off DeFi loans? Why don't they just roll it up into the bankruptcy? Like, why is that a different country?
I guess the best way to explain it is that a DeFi protocol doesn't have a phone number you can call up and, and say like, don't you know who I am? Like, don't you know who my father is? Like you can't liquidate me at this price. Let's work out a deal. Let me show you my other bank account with $1 billion in it. And then you'll extend my line of credit a little more, which is basically what all of these companies we found out were just doing and somehow getting away with it. No one was, asking for more than like, I want to say like they were just showing a screenshot of a bank account and people were just giving them loans. I'm hoping that it's not that easy but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like it's actually that easy.
Like a fake ID buying beer at the convenience store when you're underage. That's mine.
It sounds like they put in about as much effort as, a disgruntled employee checking, like enforcing IDs. Like, not my problem.
Yeah. At like some just huge lined rock concert, like next. But it's just like and meanwhile, like I want to say this headline, which is like Bitcoin maximalists officially qualify as an organized religion who are exempt from taxes. And this obviously is like, oh yeah, like Bitcoin maxis, like they're so fervorish about Bitcoin that we have this headline that, oh yeah, they're a 501c3 now. Now they don't have to pay taxes on their coin. But what is really also going on there is that like the Bitcoiners are right. Like, yes, and with the caveat on the DeFi protocol, but like the array, the whole industry is shitcoins, and it's run by shitbags offering shit deals.
Shitcoin casino. Yeah, it's
a shitcoin casino.
They came out of this.
That's why they call it craps.
Looking so good. Like this is going to really. I think ETH was sort of winning the narrative war there for a while, like during the bull market. I think ETH was definitely winning the narrative war.
ESG, like, we're proof of stake. It took us 5 years, but we got there. And now the environmentalists are touting us, but it's like, no, this is the ICO reboot from 2017. All these centralized exchanges can't be trusted more than a 7-Eleven, where you just go in and get your gas and get the F out of there. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Coinbase and Kraken went under. I don't know. I know they offer much more modest yields. I have no idea what's going on with their books. But I don't think anything is safe. I mean, Gemini, Coinbase, and Kraken are like the last bastion, right, in the US. And then we have Binance as like the megadon above it all.
Yeah. I guess like the really good thing you can say about Coinbase and Kraken and Gemini at this point is they haven't issued a token.
Right.
Among other things, I think they also operate within the U.S. So I think they have different legal and regulatory rules to abide by. So I think, it's not, no one knows. Custody your own funds. Like, I think that's the big lesson that we're all learning now is like, absolutely, definitely custody your own funds. But I think Coinbase will be safe. And I think Gemini will also be safe. And I may very well eat these words in 3 months from now or next week.
Maybe not. I mean, I think I share that sentiment. But what everybody going under is showing me is like, these were all a bunch of shilsters, and I don't see Brian Armstrong that way, but I don't think anybody should trust anybody. It's like this whole trustless thing. You can hold your crypto in a cold storage wallet. Why even bother? Like what, for like 2% yield on your 4 Ethereum? Like go fly a kite. Like why? Just keep your money.
Yeah. That's a headline we're going to put up. Well-known NFT artist says Gemini is safe in finance.
Exactly.
That's good. Yeah.
And then trying to get through this, trying to get through Thanksgiving or the upcoming Christmas Eve dinner without your family remembering what you said about crypto the last holiday is going to be an art form. And run you through a little top 10 list here. Let's see. You could feign amnesia. Number 9 is you could compare it to something else. Like, hey, did you know Shopify really is down 75% this year, you guys? These tech stocks.
Tesla's not doing so hot right now.
Yeah, these tech stocks. Number 8, you could take the mental health angle. It's always a card to play. My therapist thinks it's best for me if I don't discuss this. You understand? This one, everyone wants to blame the bad man. You could blame Musk or Biden or even the aliens. It was the lizard people. Let's see. Anything else? Oh yeah, you be socially conscious. This one was you, Perch, I think. I read online that this will be the last year for real turkey. Kind of like.
No,
or
that
blame
was
it.
Not mine. I'm not sure who did
that. Wasn't yours? No, the real turkey?
Not
which one of these was yours?
Good. I really like it. Which one is mine?
No, that was Liquidiate. Sorry, bud. That was you. I remember
that's really good.
Oh, that was mine. Hey, I'm pretty smart. That was good.
Did you have one of these? I forget. Oh yeah, you have number 1. You have number 1. I love yours, but then you can blame it on your brother. It's like, oh, great. Like Dave is always coming up with the wildest ideas. Dave, pitch something new. I know that you guys. I told you about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just have you heard about this new timeshare? I mean, just
it's the thing.
Move to timeshares.
And then I like this one. Consider how it sounds. I never said ETH to 10K. I was talking about my friend, Ethan Tatensky. Tatensky. So that would happen. And then we had this fiat billionaire. Who wrote this? This was a good article.
Wait a minute. Actually, real quick, did anybody have to have any of those conversations over the Thanksgiving weekend with their family?
I don't think crypto came up once, even though all of my family's kind of on the crypto train at this point. I think everyone was just too depressed about crypto to talk about it. So we just didn't. We did other stuff instead, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, on my end, it didn't really come up either. I guess my cousin and I talked about it, and we were just scrolling through our coin geckos, and he was just like, I dropped a few X amount of money on this token. I was like, what's that token? He goes, I have no fucking idea. We were just looking at our completely deflated balloon portfolios, commiserating. But that was about it. Nobody took me to task for telling him to buy ETH at 4K.
I did preemptive strike. I just video chatted with my family over Thanksgiving, and I brought up the conversation quickly and then moved on. So I said, yeah, crypto's doing pretty bad, but everything's doing bad right now. Bad people are going to do bad things. I mean, you remember Theranos or whatever, and Enron. I mean, this stuff just happened. So we just gotta, and then I quickly listed off everything in the last 15 years that's been bad financially, and then just changed the topic right away. Just kind of got that out of the way early and didn't worry about it.
Well, that's a good get out in front of it.
Yeah. The housing crisis. I mean, this shit just happens sometimes. You just got to get through it.
Oh, it's something you said there, Frank. I think there's a joke in there. You and your brother looking at your portfolios, and there's like, oh, like, what is this token? Like, I don't even know. I think there's definitely bull market tokens, bull market buys.
And he legitimately didn't know.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I made a move on that one. You know, I have no idea what it is.
I'm sure if I looked at my portfolio now, there'd be tokens in there that I was like, what was I thinking when I bought this? Or what even is this? And I think, I think there's definitely things.
Bull brain?
Call it like bull market coins versus like the bear market, which is just like, all right, stacking ETH and Bitcoin, and that's it.
Bitcoin, die.
Yeah.
That's it.
What about you, Discord? Did you have any holiday conversations about crypto or anything?
No, my family all isn't into it, but I had one locked and loaded just in case, because my dad had been in SoftBank when it went from like 50 to 18 gajillion and then stayed with it all the way back down. So I was waiting with the how's SoftBank doing, but didn't come up.
So your defense was to go offensive on someone else's, on your dad's.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Bad trade.
That was where that idea for that article came from. You know, like the first one was like, you know, equities are down bad too, or whatever it was. That's a
right.
But that was what I was subtweeting there.
Oh, that's
which
so
is a great
good
headline.
Just this image of you sitting there at Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know. It probably
locked
was,
and loaded.
Yeah, locked and loaded.
You always got to have one in the chamber, and then sometimes you don't have to fire it.
Right. Somebody bring up crypto. Just somebody say something about crypto.
Right.
They don't even finish their sentence, and you just blurt it out. SoftBank.
So, I mean, someone's exposing crypto. It looks like Jamie Dimon really got on his pulpit here. This fiat billionaire finally exposes crypto. But look at this coffee cup mug. If you have to ask how much it costs, you can't afford it.
Is that on his coffee cup?
Yeah. I think Deputo like photoshopped in this coffee mug, which is just like so great. Out of the kindness of his own heart, magnanimous CEO Jamie Dimon informed the world today that crypto is just a Ponzi scheme. He added, "Get out now while you still can and come open an account with Chase instead. We forgive you." So he just goes on about this, like, annual comp is like north of 84 million. And
my favorite line is, has Bitcoin ever given you a deal like this? I don't think so. I've never gotten a free coffee mug from Bitcoin.
Which brings me back to this other thing, which is like the Bitcoin maxis. We made fun of them for this religion joke, but like, I just want to say, like, bravo, Bitcoin maxis. Like, they didn't do any of it. They had no bull brain. Like the real ones that are just all about Bitcoin. Everything's not, if you're not Bitcoin, I don't want it. Like they saw no blood. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They didn't participate in any DeFi lending. They didn't buy any shit NFTs and get dumped on. They didn't, any of that stuff. And I just think there's something about that kind of conviction. So
yeah, I mean, if you like being boring, sure, Bitcoin's your
so
jam.
boring to buy Bitcoin. Do you know how unenthusiastic it is to spend $500 and watch it be like 0.000?
It's like not even registering.
0.0054271 Satoshis. I'm like, what?
And then you're like, strap in, it's going to be 20 years.
I know, right? 20 years is probably, and then, one day,
One day I will have a Bitcoin.
So in other news, Apple permits NFTs so long as they don't do shit. Anybody know this story? What was happening with Apple? Because this is based on something real.
Well, they're going to allow NFTs, but it's going to be part of their kind of typical walled garden was my takeaway from that. And then they're going to charge their 30%, I think, kind of their typical App Store take.
Right. And there's like no utility on them.
Is it explicitly said they can't, that's the thing, they can't do shit. They just have to be a picture and we're taking 30%? Is that what we're talking about here?
I think that's exactly what, I think that's actually, like, we wrote the headline as a joke, but I think that's like, they literally can't do shit. Like, it's just true.
I mean, I kind of would believe that. It's kind of like if they're trying to avoid listing securities, that would make sense. Like, they probably don't want to be listing a security or anything that's remotely like that.
It's gonna be album art. That's what it seems like. It's just like it comes with the thing you buy, and it's also transferable, I guess. But that's it. Like, and we're gonna take our big 30, and everybody's gonna hate us, but everyone's still going to do it because everyone's locked into that ecosystem, and even those of us who aren't, the other ecosystems follow suit because if Apple can do it, so can we. So I don't know. It just like this is where mass adoption is going to happen through these platforms, these Web 2 platforms, because that's where all the people are at.
Right.
Unlike
so it's
the rest
probably
of us
a really
out here.
good thing
Yeah.
at the end of the day. It's like going to be huge. All right. Pop question. Cage fight CZ against SBF. Who wins?
I don't know. Like SBF probably has some kind of weird superpower anime shit going on with that hair. I don't know what's in there. Maybe a knife or two.
He seems like he would study like Taekwondo or something.
Yeah. Study, but
know,
not
man,
just
I
like
saw the video of that guy running, and he did not look like an athlete. I don't
He
know
doesn't
shit
look
about CZ,
I
but
don't-
I think CZ wins that.
CZ wins.
one of those people
I don't know
that
how much-
never looked
SBF
like they
wins.
ran before in their life. They just start moving their legs
Well,
too
apparently
fast.
they're going to fight on the playground after school.
Yeah,
right.
So
It's going to turn into name calling in a wrestling match on the dirt. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be no punches. It's just
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
slap
awkward
fight.
hugging. Yeah.
yeah, slap fight. Settle their vendettas. I think it was like kind of cool that CZ was like, oh, you're going to poke me? Like, I'm going to dump like 15% of your token onto the market.
I mean,
like, and
because
then I'm going to tweet about it and laugh at
He
you.
had
dunk in
his
your face.
SoftBank comparison locked and loaded. You know, he was just waiting
Yeah,
for
right.
his moment to pull that fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly. And this one, you know this one, Discord, which is, so Trump buys Yuge Labs, and what is he rebranded as?
Huge labs. That was just some
That's
good
such a
old fashioned Trump fun. You know, it was like Yuge got in trouble with the SEC, and so the government was sniffing around. So it was just what if Trump bought them? What would he do with all their collections?
He also wants to change the name of the mysterious codas to become Diet Coca-Colas.
Gonna be huge. I can't do a Trump, but
Trump at his latest rally, make Yuge Labs great again. This is such a great
Oh
article.
God.
which with the apes being down really bad right now, it's even funnier.
If Trump's going to run again, and I have this feeling in the back of my head that he's going to somehow like get into NFTs to fundraise, and that's just going to be like the nail in the coffin for the crypto industry. It's just going to be
I
like,
could see that happening. Well, we'd have to root for him to win at that point, you know, because if he goes down, then they're shutting the whole thing down.
And buy the NFT. Oh, this is such a great line. Discord user wrote, and the project formerly known as CryptoPunks are now to be known collectively as Crypt Keeper Pelosi Sucks.
And you know Trump's going to figure out a way to make everyone believe that he created Bitcoin.
Oh yeah,
He is Satoshi.
I can see him. He is Satoshi. That's not a bad tweet. Donald Trump reveals I am Satoshi. I guess that's kind of.
I knew it all along. Gonna be huge.
I think we covered this cryptozoologist article before. Maybe not. That was just kind of like every once in a while at the Rug, we'll do an article that's more just like color or like a little off. But this one was cryptozoologist collects blurry NFT photo, claims it's Bigfoot. And this whole idea of the article was like, you know, you're like in Washington and you're in this room and this zoologist is like presenting you this blurry photo of Bigfoot, and all these like believers in Bigfoot are like, yeah, no, obviously we believe in Bigfoot, but why should I buy your photo? They're just like not into, they're in the right click save as camp. Yeah, they're in the right click save as camp. No, you don't understand. It's this unique proof of ownership on a blockchain. And they're just like, yeah, we have it on our phones already. I mean, I'm looking at it. Like, what are you talking about?
And it's blurry, so
and
what are we
it's
talking
blurry.
about?
You don't even know if it's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Sure, it's some bipedal thing, but who knows? As far as like writing a joke, is there anything that you guys would want to frame up or put a lens on, that's happening semi-recently, kind of in the now?
I was thinking about Christmas jokes already today because they're already playing Christmas music in a lot of the shops, and it's like, oh God, we're doing this already. But I guess it is almost December, so. But I don't know if that kind of joke's a little too early.
It's an idea.
I don't know. Like, there's been so many naughty boys this year. Santa has to hire some kind of extra help to deal with the naughty list or something like that.
Santa just airdrops everybody an NFT of coal.
Yeah, I think we might have actually mentioned that
we
before.
did a headline like that last.
There was an Elf
Christmas,
DAO thing with our original NFTs.
but we had that Santa swaps SHIB for coal.
Oh, right.
Nobody notices.
Similar.
Nobody notices.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, yeah, exactly. That was the unstated ellipse.
I don't know. It's a weird place right now because I mean, like we just said, we have there's a lot of comedy because a lot of stuff's happening, but at the same time, it's like I kind of want to write something that's not about everything going to shit at the same time, But what do we have?
I think there's something here with the crypto enthusiast waiting with a banger comeback to put down that never came. Just like I just like that could I think that could be an article.
Yeah, holds retort in back pocket for.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what would that look like? I'm picturing a Discord again with the SoftBank thing. Get ready.
I mean, yeah. Like I guess you could get a real. I don't even think you even need to say what the comeback is necessarily.
No.
Maybe it's better too. But just that image like is so good.
So like crypto native keeps retorts in back pocket for holiday gatherings or something like that, or next bull market, or
just even narrower. Like I want it just to be about that scene, like just about that dinner, or just about this conversation. Like they're waiting for it, they're suspecting it's coming, but it never comes, and then they're like a little disappointed because they wanted to use the line.
Oh, that's funny. So it's like crestfallen, like crestfallen crypto native didn't get to. I'll say it the wrong way, but like use the retort.
Yeah, I think you want it to be present tense, as if like the dinner is unfolding over the course of the article.
Yeah.
What the retort is in the last line, or never.
Or it just comes out. Like I'm just thinking back on this Seinfeld episode, the jerk store line, over and over when I think about this.
Right.
That's sort of what I'm
with jerk store.
I think it might be better as an article, actually. I think.
Well, geez, Perchy, what are we doing here?
Edit this all out. No spoilers.
Let's bookmark it.
I do have a nice, charming anecdote that we can end on, which is over the course of this call. I was muted for a while because I was eating dinner, but also at the same time, both of the people who bought the NFTs that got jacked from me sent them back to me.
Oh, that is
heartwarming.
Heartwarming.
Well,
so let that be a advertisement for Lost Miners. Come on down, get your Lost Miner. Don't get it stolen.
Yeah, those underage children.
M-I-N-E.
Don't confuse it with the other Lost Miner project that we are not affiliated with.
Well, that's fantastic news. That's really cool.
Well, faith in Web3.
Yeah. It's not all bad. Hey, people, it's not all bad.
Oh, in case we still want to do a joke after that.
What you got?
So I just wrote down this note while we were talking. MLMs more trustworthy than crypto industry, according to Better Business Bureau. So there's something in there where the multi-level marketing industry kind of celebrates because they're not the bottom rung anymore.
So multi-level marketing schemes grateful for crypto industry.
Yeah, happy to not be the worst. Maybe we don't even need to mention crypto in it. People will just know.
I think you have to name a specific MLM. It's got to be like Cutco Knives.
I like the words least trusted.
Ooh, yeah. And I like that note. Yeah.
Which one? Which MLM?
Cutco Knives is the one that I think of. Mm-hmm. I think you can like pair it with a picture so that you don't have to mention crypto in the headline. But like if it's just a picture of SBF or whatever, then it hits.
I know we've shipped so many SBF pictures.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that guy. I don't want to see that guy. But like, how about that's kind of funny? I don't even want to see another picture of SBF.
Yeah.
And like Chicago residents annoyed at existent FTX branding with SBF's name. Like, I don't know. He's got all these ads of his mug all over the country, and he's just like looking at you, laughing at you. I took your money. I took your money. But like the Cutco Knives MLM is like, I mean, you could say like grateful for crypto, but I just thought this idea of being like, no, they're better than NFTs.
I like the angle Perchy's on of like Cutco Knives, like backing away from the crypto industry because crypto is too janky.
No, I was doing the opposite. I was saying they're embracing it, but you're right. But you're right. No, the joke is they back away. They have to back away. Like Cutco Knives cancels their upcoming NFT.
Cutco Knives will not touch crypto with a 39.5.
Cutco Knives cancels NFT subscriptions. Cutco Knives drop FTX endorsement. I think the MLM helps. Do you guys think it's not necessary? Is it already in Cutco Knives? Because I don't.
MLM doesn't immediately read for me, in terms of like, funny. I have to think about what it is. It's not a funny thing. It's you need to actually say what those letters stand for, and then it loses funny. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you need MLM.
So you'd have to say multi-level marketing firm Cutco Knives cancels NFT subscriptions.
I think you just trust that they know what Cutco Knives, that most people will know what Cutco Knives is. Or even if you don't exactly, like you can probably still guess a bit.
How about if it's bigger than NFTs? What if it's like Cutco Knives? What if we target centralized exchanges? Oh, we got writers. This is fun.
We got keyboards clacking.
This is fun. Because did you see how getting the visual anchor gives, this is what we have to do if we're going to write. Like we need a visual anchor. Otherwise it's just ethereal. Cutco Knives back away from plans for centralized exchange. Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of vibe. I like cancels NFT subscriptions, but I don't know if it's as funny as we can be.
What is an NFT subscription? That's my only problem with that.
It's like using an NFT to subscribe to Cutco.
What is another example of Cutco, or is that like the most well-known one?
Herbalife, I think, is the go-to for me when I think of MLM.
I think of like, what is it? Mary Kay? No, that's not right.
Mary Kay,
Avon,
or like BMG, what was their old CD?
Oh, Essential Oils. Essential Oils is another one.
doTERRA. Yeah.
doTERRA.
Yeah.
But there's actually so the thing, I actually had a friend who made a lot of money selling Cutco knives. So maybe like for me, he was probably like the 1% of people that actually.
Somebody always makes money in an MLM. It's just not the bottom.
No.
doTERRA. So what's the third one? So really doTERRA, which one? Friend who is deep into Cutco knives was right about it.
Where it's like this. I like the angle of like this person that we all wrote off for being a moron was right about the thing that we were all wrong about.
He's just like sitting there, see? He's got his hand like tucked into the button of his button-down shirt. Like, see, gotcha.
Is it just Cutco Knives, or can it be Cutco Knives? Can we hit them with 3 MLMs, like Cutco Knives, doTERRA Essential Oil? Is that too long? It's too long.
I think it just wants to be one. It might not necessarily have to be Cutco Knives, but I think.
Yeah. I was thinking I almost wrote right about NFTs or right about crypto, but then I think it's less clear that the joke is that he was right about it all going down. Like, what does it mean to be right about crypto? Like, I don't think crypto's failed here.
It makes it seem like our editorial stance is giving up on crypto, which we're not.
Right. Yeah. Or like, I think it has to be FTX, or it has to be like one of these collapsed exchanges in order for the joke to land.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
We can totally ship it. I'm FTX out. Doesn't mean it's not funny.
Yeah, I totally get it. But also it's like it's still all that's been in the news. Like basically all the crypto news is on pause as this has been unfolding, and we just like watch SBF go about his life.
So then we just need to all agree here that come New Year, we are washing our hands of all FTX jokes.
Yeah, we're done with it.
we could
get
have
it out of our system before Christmas or before New Year's.
I will not sign that contract because, he might get arrested or something, and then we're going to want to dump on him again.
All right. Well, someone want to tweet that.
I'm going to just save it for the next PM day. It's not a topical one, really.
Yeah.
I can sit for Wednesday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Put it next to SoftBank in the pocket, ready to go.
Ready to fire.
Bam! Hot on the trigger.
This is ready to go.
Just when anybody starts a conversation, you just blurt out. It doesn't matter what the topic is. You just blurt out SoftBank.
Pass the gravy.
SoftBank.
Hey, son, can you pass the gravy?
You said, can you pass the gravy? But I know what you really meant.
You said it in a judgy way. It was the way you said it.
Nice rapping with you guys.
Frank, you didn't sound sick at all, bro.
Thank you. Well, I drank a bunch of herbal tea, and it's a better microphone.
12% more handsome, right?
So 12% more visually. Auditory attraction matters here at the Rug. Yeah.
The best part is I'm pulling up SoftBank's chart finally, and like it's still doing just fine. It's like off the top, but like it's still doing good.
All right. That's a wrap. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Metaverse.
Welcome to the Rug Podcast.